Okay, let's see how this goes. All right, we are now live. I don't know if anybody is watching, but I do need to test stream volume.
Here, I'll pull up your stream and check.
Okay, I need to see if you're loud enough.
Okay. It's up. Do I have the volume? I do.
Okay, so let me know if mic audio is fine and oh gosh, I'm reading my subtitle thing in like real time because it's picking up directly from my mic. And the word daddy was in there somewhere and oh boy.
Oh, God.
Okay, let me know if I need to turn you up.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty quiet on there. It took like a minute for it to...
Okay. So... See, now the problem is I don't know how loud the music on the game is going to be because the opening menu doesn't have any music. So I guess we'll just find out.
Yeah.
I turned it up a little bit. I hope that works. Alright, I think the only way to find out is just to go for it. I guess. I don't know. We'll do this as we go, I suppose. Alright, so...
Voices.
Oh dear. Alright. This is Us Lovely Corpses. I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, an in-depth list of content warnings is available. Maybe for the sake of anybody who may watch this later, I don't know. I'm thinking about uploading it later to YouTube, so I can go through that. Okay, so we have animal death, body horror, blood, homophobia, self-harm, suicide, self-hatred, and violence. I'll leave that on the screen for just a second and let people read it.
Great things. Just...
Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go ahead. Oh, another one. Okay, the monster knows you are here. It will do its best to make you leave. As such, the game will occasionally do startling and unexpected things.
Oh. Good to know.
Are we prepared, DC?
I think so.
I think we're good. I feel like I'm being introduced to Doki Doki Literature Club all over again.
Oh. Yeah. I saw someone's like, I've heard about this game. Is it good? Everyone tells me not to be spoiled for it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Am I supposed to be clicking? I don't... Okay, there we go. As far as anyone could tell, the Flores family had not committed any mortal sin. No fairy complained of improper etiquette. No witch reported anything missing from the garden. No one had been insulted, injured, or otherwise aggrieved. But that didn't stop a monster from showing up for their daughter one day. It was quiet, painless, and swift. The monster left nothing but a mark on the girl and a promise to hang over her head.
I will return for you one day, little miss. I will not take your life, nor will I harm your body. I feel like I should have done like a creepier voice, but I've already done it. But I will never leave you.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to turn down the music just a touch. Alright, that should be good. Okay, do you want to be Alex or should I?
Maybe you should. I don't know if they're the main character or not.
I think so. If I remember what I read correctly, I think this is the main character.
Why don't you do the main character?
Oh, of course, okay.
I did the main character last time.
And you suffered for it.
Yes.
Dang, I got here just in time. It's really starting to come down hard. As I do my best to outrun the splatter of raindrops on the pavement, the familiar shock of pink walls emerges from behind the treetops. It feels a bit like being greeted by a friend. The Flores house is an old money house. I mean, it's clearly a money house, at least. Anyone would puzzle out that a place this size has come with a mysterious price tag. It's really classy, too, with a porch and pillars and everything. Victorian, I think. Gothic revival? Look, I'm a witch, not a real estate agent. My point is that it's a really nice house. Even with all the creepy death vines and the monster in the attic. Well, let's clock in.
That was someone else. Sound effects.
Who wants to...
You want me to say it?
Sure, you can.
I don't know.
We can alternate if you want.
Yeah. The Flores family has always has at least 2 housekeepers employed, but they've got a bad record vis-a-vis keeping them around for long. As such, it's not a surprise to see an unfamiliar face open the door.
Oh dear.
There's too many characters already.
There's the narrator, there's the main character, and there's whoever Betty is.
Well, there was another person. It was like Alexandra or something like that. I noticed it before you clicked away, but here, I'll just do Betty.
Okay.
Oh, they had. You're the DeRosa girl, right? The assistant? They told me about you. Where's the witch?
Well, you're looking at her. The witch that I work with, she's my grandma, and she's preoccupied with other business today. So this is my first solo job.
The housekeeper's eyes casually twitches. You're the witch? How old are you? 18? 19?
Is that a problem?
No, not at all. It's completely fine. Why on earth should I be worried? Just because I woke up to a real-life horror movie this morning. just because half the house has been taken over by those horrible things. Just because I've been working in this house for a week and out of nowhere a literal monster appeared and abducted my employer's daughter, and God knows what happened to her and God knows what will happen to me. But no. It's fine. Why not send a child to help us? A child on her first solo job. Sure, why not? Wouldn't want to break the streak we've got going on today. After all, I just love suddenly being shunted to nightmare worlds where logic is gone and murderous finds have replaced it. I love hearing my superior respond to a rose whispered to me about dead animals with, "Oh, that's normal." I love terror. I love being in hell. Can't wait for Satan to jump up my and tap dance. I swear to whatever God might still be up there, if one more thing happens under this roof, I'm going to...
Betty.
Andrea puts a hand on the woman's shoulder, and within an instant, she's quiet and pale.
Take a deep breath.
A monster. A literal monster. I thought everyone was being sarcastic.
I know, hon. Why don't you go sit down for a little while?
This was just supposed to be extra money for the boat. Betty staggers like the fawn over to a nearby chair. After a moment, she drops into it bonelessly. I hear a faint noise like the boat drift down the hall.
Sorry about, all that. Hey, don't sweat it. I love being casually insulted to my face. I love when people don't take me seriously because of my age. It's super great. Be nice. She's a newbie. Thought all the talk about the Flores monster was just a joke, huh?
She's not the first. Andrea is the one housekeeper who stuck around the Flores family the longest, so all of that is old hat to her. She's probably more annoyed by Betty's theatrics than the monster kidnapping her ward, but she's also too soft-hearted to tell the other woman to get a grip. I guess in a way we're co-workers, but more than anything, we're friends.
So, how have you been? Oh, you know, same as usual. Exhausted, aren't we all? So, what, we're looking at a typical case? Vines have taken over the attic and second floor completely. The most affected areas were all the usual ones: office, bathroom, reading room, her bedroom too. The Mr. and Mrs. gone since Monday. They're on a trip to South Padre. We haven't actually told them yet. And Marisol and you-know-who, they're in the usual place? Yeah. Righto. Well, if that's everything, I think I'll get to work. No point in putting it off any longer. You're sure you'll be okay on your own? Andrea, remember what I said literally 2 minutes ago about people not taking me seriously. Alex, it's not about your age. It'll be your first time doing this alone, and you know how those roses can get. You know how the monster can get. It's a little nerve-wracking. But Marisol is my friend. And who's gonna help her if not me? I mean, there are other witches in the area. No. I want to do this. For every princess captured by a ferocious beast, there's gotta be a dashing knight, you know? Dashing knight? What happened to being a witch? I'm a woman of many talents.
It's under the door! You follow her pointer finger to the far end of the hall at the door that leads to the staircase. This hallway is the unofficial safe zone of the house. The Roses never come in here at least. Me and Layla have always arrived before they started invading, but now it slinks and twitches its way across the floor, the petals beginning to fan out. Do something!
Stay back.
With a quick flip of latches, I open my briefcase. Layla's trimmers fit comfortably in the palm of my hand.
Alright, let's...
And abruptly, it's face to face with me. And the rose, as roses tend to do, opens its mouth.
You know, good old roses. With their teeth and everything.
I guess I'll do the monster. Oh, should I do a creepy voice?
Only if it's sustainable.
I don't know anymore.
I said that last time we did.
Day, another corpse. I was just went into like a New York accent. Another day, another corpse waiting to happen. You've come here so many times, swaggering in the face of death. Should one applaud your bravado or your brainlessness?
Why that voice?
I don't know. That's what I slipped into.
Alright. Well, canonically, the monster's from Brooklyn, I guess.
Yeah, a really bad Brooklyn accent.
For your information.
But now you walk in here alone. A girl turned a young lady before all our eyes. Surely you'll know it'll only get hotter from here on out. This is your warning. You should leave this place and never look back.
No. I mean, I'm not leaving until I help Marisol, and not until I get rid of you. What, that's it? You don't want to do more of this? I thought you loved your formula. Why do you suddenly want to skip all of the foreplay?
We should do Marisol. I don't know what they look like, so I don't know what to do for them. I'll go.
Okay.
Alex? I'll figure out a voice when I see them. I pause. Why is she talking through the rose? Did it eat her?
No, it's letting her talk. It does this all the time. Marisol, listen, just hang tight. I'm gonna be heading up pretty soon.
Alejandra, listen to me. Do not come up here. Tell Andrea that she and the other one are fired. I want you all to get out of this house right now and never come back.
Mari, I don't know why it's making you say this, but...
It's not making me say anything, Alex. I'm telling you of my own free will to go.
Marisol, you know I have to...
No, you don't. I'm telling you. I'm giving you permission to leave.
Do you really think I'm just gonna let you die?
The hall is silent.
Marisol, you know what'll happen if it stays too long. Leaving you like that is just as good as killing you.
The petals of the rose gently retract and expand. It almost looks like a beating heart. Ugh. Fine by me. Ooh. Snick. Takes barely a flick of my wrist to drop the tendril on the floor. The rose's teeth are still now, hidden under its petals. I lift it up gently and place it in my briefcase. The rest of the vine is already dissolving into ash. The door opens without resistance. In the living room, the kitchen, I can see a couple of wayward vines have started to creep in, but none with roses. They'll dissolve on their own once the monster leaves. I have bigger problems to worry about upstairs.
Holler if you need anything.
For God's sake, be careful! The stairs creak familiarly under my feet. You should have listened to her. The voice is familiar too. It never stops being unnerving. Hearing it come out of multiple throats.
You got that right.
Yeah.
We're gonna lose
Hey,
our minds
I'm
by the end
doing a
of this.
Seymour. I'm doing a Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors. There we go.
We're gonna lose our minds by the end of this.
Don't we all? You know. What is it about you and the word no, little witch? You realize you don't have your grandmother's shadow to hide anymore, don't you? This was probably the one kindness the girl's ever given you, and you threw it away.
You think that's the only time Marisol's been nice to me? For a guy who's been bugging a girl her entire life, you don't know a thing about her.
His voice goes silent for a moment. You'd probably think that sassing it would be just asking for trouble, but believe it or not, it helps. There won't be anything standing between us when you come to the attic. My thorns will open your pretty skin and leave you nothing but a heap of twitching flesh. Oh. You'll feel the agony of 1,000 deaths before you even die. I don't know what I'm doing now.
Cool. Hey, hold still.
I clip roses as I ascend the stairs, catching each one and depositing them into my briefcase. But the last one makes me pause at the top of the staircase.
What's this you got in your teeth?
It's a page of a notebook paper, wrinkled and crisp from age, numerous foldings. It's familiar.
You know, I believe I've heard this game has puzzles, so that might be something we need to remember later.
Ah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of that with my phone.
Yeah.
I'll keep that on hand.
I took a picture too.
Okay. Alright, that'll be there in case we need it, which we probably will. Alright, I'll go ahead and read it out for the sake of the stream, but pink is affection, dark pink is gratitude, blue is an impossible dream, yellow is friendship or jealousy, and then too many yellow is dangerous. Red is anger, black is death, lavender, love at first sight, and white is danger, never listen. Okay. Oh, jeez, where'd you find this?
My nervous handwriting, a ghost of a hand scribbling in a frantic attempt to keep up with my grandmother's instruction. My frankly embarrassing attempt at spelling lavender. Oh, I didn't even realize it was spelled wrong. When I was 13, I thought confronting Marisol's monster would be my greatest accomplishment as a witch. I wasn't actually sure we'd make it back alive, despite Layla's constant reassurances. I wonder what my younger self would think of me now, having climbed these stairs more of the times than I could count. My greatest accomplishment now, a regular house visit. You don't have that woman with you anymore. It would be sporting if I didn't allow you extra help.
Awesome, thanks.
I snipped the rose with a little more force than necessary.
So, the attic, huh?
The attic has pulled down staircase. It's currently covered with vines, but those are actually the least of my worries right now. The hatch has locks, 3 to be precise, and they all look pretty secure.
Hey, Bucko, where are the keys?
It doesn't reply. In 6 years of doing this, it has never once given us the keys when we asked. Somehow, it's just become routine, and routine has historically been pretty comforting. But the routine typically follows with the monster explaining where the keys are, a grandiose fill-in speech, as if we haven't heard it 1,000 times. Today, it's silent, not even an evil chuckle.
You're different today. For a monster, you're seriously losing your bite.
It says nothing.
Layla always said that if there is one thing monsters love, it's their formula. That's why you always come back and hide in the attic with Marisol, and why we always go through the same lines. Dastardly fiend, let that poor girl go. As if I would. You witches are so pathetic. I'll toy with you some more. Let's play a little game. If you can find the 3 keys hidden somewhere on this floor. Something, something, time limit, clues, whatever. But now all of a sudden you're too bored to go through it? Honestly, what's the point of going to save a beautiful princess if we don't get to be a little dramatic about it?
Can't save her.
Fine, whatever. I need to clean up the roses in the other rooms anyways. I'll play your doofy little game, like always, do some gardening, like always, and I'll be back with the keys before you can say Citizen Kane.
Witch. Its voice comes from behind the attic door. I'll warn you one more time. This is your final chance to turn back. I shrug and start towards the reading room. I follow the vines in the scent of roses. It's a nice smell, but it has a tendency to become cloying the more time passes. Layla used to get a headache sometimes, but weirdly enough, I seem to be able to endure it better than her. My first stop is the reading room. Andrea has said it was one of the most affected places, and sure enough, I see quite a bit of roses.
Let's see. Roses first, then we'll get to looking for those keys.
It'd be nice to have a reading room, I think. I've always had a kind of envied Marisol for it, even though I usually only ever see it when it's being choked with vines. I gently run my fingers down one, and as I look around the room, it's warm to the touch.
Alright, who's up first?
There's a tall bookcase packed to the brim with books of all kinds. From the topmost shelf sprouts a single red rose. Ooh.
Should we listen to it or prune it first?
Don't know.
That was a red one, right?
So it's anger. See, if you prune it, then it's like mad or something. But then if you listen, but then it's also mad. I don't know.
I don't know. Do you want to continue doing voice acting? That's the question. Should we do this for the sake of content or we'll listen to it?
Oh god, the teeth bother me.
Oh, it's genuinely upsetting.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
A pigeon crushed paper, thin on the road, wings somehow spared, still spread, straining slack, dead tendons. They reach for the sun, a pop-up book from hell. Looking at roadkill is like getting a fish hook pushed into my heart. Sad in a way I can't put into words. Snip, snip, I cut it loose. I have scissors here. On the shelf right below it, the books are slightly askew as if one of their number is missing. From a gap sprouts a single lavender rose. Yeah.
Sure, let's listen.
Let's hear some more roadkill. The witch had come to battle me many times before, but this was the first time she's brought a partner. The girl with a fluffy head and a permanent smile, no older than my ward. She was frightened to see my face. I could tell that much from her tiny fingers clutching her notebook tight. But even as her grin went tight with false bravado, I could see the pride in her gaze, watching her grandmother get to work. And as I retreated, I threw one glass glance over my shoulder. My name is Alex. I'm here to save you. I memorized her face and name, knowing she would one day become my enemy too. I outlined her features in my mind with animosity. And yet somehow, it also felt like fondness. I cut it loose. I have scissors. Ooh, there's a comfortable armchair begging someone to curl up in it. From the seat sprouts a single yellow rose. I wonder what they mean so far.
Not sure. Listen or prune.
Maybe we should just try pruning one to see what happens. I cut it loose. Oh, I guess it just doesn't talk then. Ooh, an impossible dream for Blue. There's a stack of books on the floor by the armchair's feet. They seem to be a series about animals aimed towards younger readers. From the topmost one sprouts a single blue rose.
Listen?
Sure.
I'll do this one. I once read a book about birds. There's a chapter all about cuckoos. Whoops. I don't know how to pronounce that. I know what it says, but
Yeah.
The book said, are the gangsters of the animal kingdom. They look for magpies who have recently just laid eggs, take an egg out of the nest, and replace it with one of their own. The magpies are forced to take care of the chick, which eats far more than the rest of the chicks combined, so much so that the other chicks simply starve to death. The book depicted the chick as a grotesque monster, half of its body taken up by an eternally gaping mouth, screaming at the poor magpies. I hated that picture. I used to think chicks were the most evil and despicable creatures on earth. But how is it the chick's fault? It never asked to be laid in a nest too small for it. It never asked to have a voice that cried louder and longer than its brethren. It was dropped into a world that never expected it to exist, but instead of trying to make the nest bigger or giving its parents enough food for all the chicks, everyone just blamed it for having a body that couldn't fit into a nest it never asked for. Why couldn't you have made me a magpie?
Ooh. The vines begin to dissolve. Some begin to creep away, retreating towards the attic door, and eventually the room is free of roses.
Okay, I guess that was everything. But I wonder, were any of those keys in here?
I keep forgetting. As I scan the room with my eyes, I notice a couple of books left lying on a side table. A dictionary and a birdwatcher's field guide. A book of words and a book of birds.
Hold on.
The words is telling me something
Okay,
important.
sure. Sure, you can have that line.
Oh, sorry, I was not looking at what it said.
That's fine.
Should I look at one of those books? One of these books? They all seemed about birds. So I would guess birds. Is there any bird I should look up?
Oh, good.
There was the cuckoo, there was the magpie. I think they mentioned a pigeon. Oh, okay, that's easy. I feel the lump of metal before I see it. A familiar bronze key is taped to the page, right on the top of it, of the entry for magpie. Nice. What if we just snip them? Like...
Then maybe we won't get any clues for the keys? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Feels like the very air of the house shudders. Out of the corner of my eye, I think I see some vines undulating, but nothing happens. Getting a better look of a cluster of vines over the wall, I notice that a lot of them are feeding into a door right off the reading room. Mr. Flora's office. That was another room Andrea mentioned, right? I don't really remember what Mr. Flores does. He's a specific doctor of some sort. Has a title with a long, complicated name. There's no syringes or anything in his office, though. It's mostly papers and files. It must be a complicated job. Why would he have syringes in his own home?
I don't know.
There's some paintings on the wall, but they're mostly covered in vines right now. Within the small space, the smell of roses is growing overpowering.
I gotta get going.
There are 3 paintings on the wall. From the white space between 2 of them sprouts a pink rose. What's that? Affection.
Want to listen to it?
I guess. Do you want to do this one?
Sure. I returned to her on a gray December afternoon, when the air was cold and biting. I enjoy the winter, the days of cloud-quilted skies and no sun. Time was passing, and her skin grew colder and colder. Would today be the day? But then, all of a sudden, the room was warm. I told you we'd be back. She didn't know what to say after I was banished, but the little witch took her hand. She led her downstairs, and her grandmother fixed them a drink, thick and creamy, flavored with cinnamon, horchata, and it warmed her stomach. The little witch asked her about the things she liked. She listened to her like it was the most fascinating person in the world. Like she was the most fascinating person in the world. Obviously, not it. She told her about school and monsters and learning to be a witch, and it warmed her chest. Somewhere in another room, her parents and the little witch's grandmother were talking in low, solemn voices. But at that moment, the world was just her kitchen, the kitchen and the little witch and their warm drinks and the pale white sky outside.
I cut it loose. There's a desk covered in scattered papers. A small book sits on the desk. From the cover sprouts a single red rose.
Listen, I guess? Just in case we get a clue.
Yeah. Oh, a kitten's ribcage opened like a present on Bowl Street. The head was perfectly intact and perfectly cute. Some clods. Prius had turned everything from neck down into a nightmare.
I think that's just Prius.
Prius. Some clods Prius. Okay. Yeah. It is arrogant to think people look at me the same way, an adorable tragedy. Every time Mom brings me somewhere, her friends smile at me like someone in the family just died. It's the most infuriating thing. It'd feel better if people were actually honest about how disgusting it was to look at me. Cut it harder. I cut it loose. On the desk sits a computer. From the keyboard sprouts a single blue rose. I can do this one again. Do you know what I see when I look at you? I see a recluse. I'm sorry. The only time you leave your room is when you go to school, and you certainly aren't making any friends there. I'm sorry. I know your condition is hard to deal with, but God, if you could just try. I am trying. Why won't you say anything? Do you hate me that much? I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. People are talking. They probably think we mistreat you. Why can't you ever think about how this affects us? I'm sorry. Marisol, God, don't cry like I'm only telling you this because we want to help you. We don't know how you're feeling. We only know what we see. And in my eyes, you're the loneliest person I've ever known. And in my eye, that's the best thing I could be. I cut it loose.
Just the frantic sound of scissors every time.
There's a tall file cabinet. From the handle of the top drawer sprouts a single yellow rose. What's that one? Friendship and jealousy.
Ooh, okay. I can do this one. I used to like it when you told me about your studies. It was also interesting. You always blushed, saying your magic wasn't as cool as the stuff I read about in books. But of course it was. Magic was magic. And your magic would only get more powerful when you got older. You are already so amazing by the time you'd become an actual witch. And I understood. You have so much talent. You're so amazing. You're going to become a wonderful witch. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be alive in a few years. Maybe the monster will catch me off guard in a year and kill me. Maybe next week. Maybe tomorrow. You have a future. I have a curse. If I was braver, I could have just told you I didn't want to hear about that stuff anymore. But I didn't. Bitterness was so much easier. I'm sorry, Alex. A supportive friend is all I can be, and I'm not even good at that.
Oh, I gotta get my scissors. Vines curl into ash. The roses retreat.
2 rooms down. Good job, me. Now let's see if there are any keys in here.
There's a number of places it could be in here, but for some reason I feel like looking at the paintings. I also remember a suspicious book on Mr. Flores' desk. What should I look at now? They seem to be talking about Marisol? Whatever her name is. I was gonna say Parasol for a second.
Yeah, that's something completely different, but yeah. The paintings, I guess?
Yeah. Mr. Flores has 3 paintings in his office. There's a painting of a woman lying in a river, a painting of a wheat field, and a portrait he commissioned of Marisol. Which one should I look at?
I guess the portrait.
Yeah. If a portrait he commissioned for Marisol's 18th birthday, it's kind of a weird style compared to the other paintings, but at least the artist captured Marisol's hair. Okay. Her eye stares directly out at the viewer. I didn't think her gaze was intense. Or did think. Is there something off about this painting? I don't know. Her eye? I mean, they mentioned the eye. Oh. Just an eye, and yep, just an ordinary old eye. Okay. Wait, her eye stares straight at the viewer, or at the wall opposite the painting. Hey, there's something on the wall opposite the painting. It was just a key sitting on the wall. They didn't notice it.
Oh man, I can't believe I overlooked that. It would have been so embarrassing if I missed that one.
The bathroom is pitch black when I arrive. Vines are leading into it, but I don't smell roses. I smell something like meat.
Oh, that's never something you want to hear about a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I turn on the light. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
If this were me, that'd be my cue to leave. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, gang, I must say I'm not a fan of anything that's happening in this room. But cleaning the bathroom is always the worst chore, am I right? Tough crowd. What, do roses not have a sense of humor?
Oh, we have a great sense of humor. You just aren't very funny.
Okay, great. Awesome. Let's just get to it.
From the head of the corpse sprouts a single red rose. I liked going on walks with my parents. Those were some of the better times in the summer, where we could see the yellow flicker of fireflies in the evenings in the autumn, where the sky was pale and the air was cool. Those walks made me feel like I was a normal person. I don't want you wearing those shorts. What? They're so long. Of course I knew that. I liked them because they were long. As far back as I can remember, I hated my big, thick thighs. It was such a relief when I saw the gym shorts they gave us at school. It felt almost to my knee. You really shouldn't be wearing shorts like those. What does it matter that they're long? You're a young lady. Mom, what are you talking about? They make you look like a woman who likes other women. Oh, God.
Yikes. It was in the content warnings.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. I walked back to my room and dug out the tiniest, most awkward pair of shorts I owned. I hadn't worn them since last year. Every second of every minute of that walk, I felt my legs being squeezed like meat. Ooh. But at least I didn't look like a woman who likes other women. Ooh. I only go on walks by myself now. Cut it loose. The toilet seat is covered by a patchwork of vines. From the middle of the bramble sprouts a single yellow rose.
I can do this one. You, with your soft, fluffy hair. You, with your cute little cartoon character eyes. You, with your long, slender legs and your curvy chest and your perfect, sleek little waist. You turned to me and said, "Do I look fat in this? Alex, I love you, but sometimes I swear I could just smack you."
I cut it loose. Ooh.
Yeah, that one means death.
Oh, on top of the toilet tank sits a razor. From the razor sprouts a single black rose. Ooh, probably... I don't know. So it's never listened to the white ones, so... At 15 years old, I realized I hate shaving. My razor uses too many blades. 3 blades for smooth skin and a close cut. We throw in an extra blade free. Close cut. 2 blades too close. It'd be so easy, coward. You say you want it. You have all you need. Oh, coward. A pair of slashed wrists for the price of one, small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Special packaging for easier storage. I'm not even a coward. An attention whore. Pig, how dare you go looking like that? How dare you force them to look at you? Oh, your legs, your arms, your stomach. Coward. Just looking at you makes me sick. Coward. Just looking at you makes me sick. I got my scissors ready. Coward. Just looking at you makes me... You make me sick. I'm already snipping. Slide. You make me sick. You make me... I read it in a book. They check the wrists. They won't check the inner thighs. Whoa. Only half a coward now for half the price. Ha 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 ha. That turned into an actual laugh. Waiting to do that.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't tell.
Oh god. The mirror is cracked. From the center of the crack sprouts a single dark pink rose.
What does that one mean again?
Oh, that one is gratitude. Sharp contrast.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can do this one. One day before I left, I waited at the window. I saw the little witch pat her trembling shoulder. It's okay now. The little witch smoothed the hair out of her face, and for a moment she left her fingers between the yellow locks. It's really pretty. She lifted her head. Huh? Your hair is so pretty. It's like gold. It's like you've got supermodel hair, you know? She stared at the little witch. She who had spent so much time looking into mirrors, she with ghostly patchwork scars between her legs. She stared at the little witch. Hey, why aren't you crying?
Even though I took care of all the roses, the vines are still strewn around the room.
Fine, okay. I know where the key is.
Oh. The illusion of choice.
It's not a corpse, it's... Oh gosh. Yikes.
Oh.
Oh. Oh no. It's hamburger meat.
Oh. A wig, a shirt, a bit of creativity and posing. The monster's done this bit a million times and it stopped scaring me years ago. Oh, okay. That's why you were joking.
Well, good thing I brought gloves. Sure do love being a witch, gang. I know you're all in my briefcase now, but I suddenly feel like talking really loudly, totally unrelated to any meat sounds that might be now happening.
Ooh, my hand closes around something, but this doesn't feel like a key at all. This is... Oh.
Son of a gun. You actually managed to do something unexpected after all these years.
The vines creak as they retract from the bathroom, and somehow it still sounds more like laughter than anything.
If the key isn't in here, there's only one more room it could be in. Gosh, I hope nobody's expecting me to clean this up.
There's maids here for a reason. Her room is a bit smaller than what you might expect, and surprisingly plain at first glance. A desk, a bed, a closet, 2 small bookshelves. The windows are cracked open, letting in the faint melody of raindrops and the scent of warm earth. It mingles nicely with the smell of roses. Marisol's bookshelf is packed tight with books. From the highest shelf sprouts a single black rose. The baby won't stop crying. The baby won't stop crying. The baby won't stop crying. Your sister only visits a few times a year and you honestly can't spend a little more time out of your room? I'm sorry, I just wanted to get away from the noise a little. Why won't it stop crying? Why won't it shut up? For God's sake, Marisol, it's a baby. You don't think you weren't the same way? That's literally not the point at all. How can you not see the point? Fine, I guess I can't do anything if you want me to be selfish. Or if you want to be selfish. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone! Do you think bad people have a responsibility to protect other people from themselves? Honestly, I think so. I can't fix myself. No one can. Not even... I don't know how to...
Doña de Rosa?
Okay. Doña de Rosa. There we go. Not even Alex. Not even magic can help me. If I stay away from people as much as I can, I won't be able to hurt them. It's probably better this way. Alex, I'm sorry. The monster laughed above my head. Oh.
Just the frantic, not just the snipping, just the frantic search for the scissors also.
Oh. Her closet door is slightly ajar. From the doorknob sprouts a single white rose. It says, never listen to these ones. White roses are an emblems of purity. That's why they're so dangerous. Oh. Layla told me once that humans have no completely pure emotions. We're strange and jumbled creatures whose feelings are always shifting, being mixed and muddled with other feelings. That's why we sometimes say terrible things in a moment of anger. In that instant, your heart is tricked into thinking the anger is all that's ever been. But even if you hurt someone with your words, you always have the chance to apologize. You can explain yourself and do your best to fix the damage. But a white rose takes your words and makes them pure. Ooh. It pulls out all your tangled feelings and reasons and warps your statement into a truly pure, untainted emotion. It makes your words turn to blades that strike straight to the heart. It turns them into words that can never, ever be taken back. A statement of pure despair, a statement of true anger, a statement of true hatred. Many people have taken their lives after listening to the words of a white rose. Ooh. I take the flower and gently place it in my briefcase. There's a dip in the mattress, big enough for a body. It's still warm. In the center is a pink rose.
What did pink mean again?
Yeah, I think it means affection.
Okay. You're being all quiet. Is something wrong? Marisol, what? Do I have something on my face? Besides my hair, I mean? Why did you come today? Well, you said you wanted to go to the movies today, right? But that was before yesterday when you... What, because of the monster? Marisol, it's gonna take more than that to... Alex, I yelled at you. I called your grandmother a... Mari. You kept... your mouth in a placid smile and your gaze was firm. Marisol, listen, it's okay. You were stressed yesterday and you said some things you didn't mean. It happens to the best of us. Not to you. Layla already forgave you. Look, honestly, I think she thought it was kind of funny, so it's all okay. Okay? You don't have to beat yourself over it. I think it's getting worse. The monster? No, I mean, it's making me worse, like angrier, meaner. I don't know. I'm getting scared of myself. Alex, oh my gosh, Marisol, are you really going to ask if I'm scared of you? Marisol. Marisol. I'm literally a witch. Witch in training. Whatever. My point is, if anything, you should be scared of me. You know, there's rumors about me and my grandma going around, right? They think we sacrifice cats to the devil and use bone magic. What is bone magic? I wish any of my magic was half as metal as that sounded. I laughed, so you're saying I should listen to rumors? Absolutely, I'm super creepy and weird, according to them. I managed to laugh again. You're the furthest thing from creepy. You're so cool and brave. Oh my gosh, like, you aren't brave with all that you go through? That's not bravery. Not a moment of that is bravery. Nope, sorry, I'm declaring it a fact right now. No, come on. Attention world, Marisol Flores is officially super brave. Is approximately good trait number a billion of her many good traits. Oh my gosh, literally, what good traits? Wait, no, oh my gosh, don't answer that. Marisol Flores is super brave, B, super smart, and C, a great listener. Lord D says really interesting things. E, smells like flowers. F, okay, oh my gosh, let's go to the movies. Honestly, hanging out with me like this, you must have a death wish. Yep, a very cute death wish.
I cut the rose. On her dresser sits a brightly colored box, tied with a cheery ribbon. From the ribbon sprouts a single red rose. Anger. God, I don't deserve to call myself your friend. Hey, your hands are so warm around mine. Shut up. I really don't. It's just getting worse, and now... Marisol, it's literally not a big deal. It's okay. Why do you keep... And I jerk my hands out of yours. Why are you telling me it's okay? You're the one who... And I finally fall on my knees, sobbing. You drop with me, and I hate it. I hate being held with those arms. I hate that I'm not noble enough to push you away. I hate myself. I hate myself. I hate myself, and you hold me anyways. Ooh. Distantly, I'm aware of the vines making noises of retreat. They're retracting out of the room. The box has a label on it. Just one word. Alejandra. Ooh. It's a book. It's a long title that I've never heard of before, but I love it already. And there's a card. You really shouldn't be reading this right now. Well, in any case, congratulations, Alex. I know you've been waiting to become a witch your entire life, for what it's worth. I've always considered you the best witch in the world. I'm sorry I couldn't give this to you the day it became official. I'm sorry I do so many things worth apologizing for. Alex, thank you so much for being my friend all these years. I really can't thank you enough. I really appreciate your friendship. I really love you. Alex, if I haven't told you already, I want you to leave. If you're reading this, you're probably getting ready to come to the attic. Please don't. Please just take this gift and walk out of this house. Don't worry about me. Just focus on being a witch like you've always wanted. Alejandra, I've asked so much of you, but I promise this will be the last thing. Knowing you, you think you're obligated to come rescue me. It's very sweet. But you know you can't save me. Please, Alex. Go live your life and forget about me. Oh.
Oh no.
Ah!
I don't want to leave.
I don't know if it means leave the room or just leave entirely.
I don't know. I don't really want to take that chance.
Yeah. Open the book. I flipped the front cover of the book open. Something small and silver is laying on the front page. Oh. Oh. So there was a choice. Uh-oh. I start walking towards the attic. I sprint towards the attic. Ah! Takes moments to work the door open. And I go up the stairs. She's taking so long. Can we really be sure she's okay up there? I don't know why I changed the accent for her.
I don't know either. She'll be fine. Trust me. She's the only person in this house who knows what she's doing.
But what about Marisol? How can we be sure that thing hasn't hurt her?
This is the drive-through guy all over again.
It is!
Why did you change the accent?
I don't know, because I couldn't remember what she sounded like before.
I think just like a normal person.
Go.
Like, there is a little something, but it definitely wasn't whatever you're doing right now.
I'll just keep going. I can't believe this thing happens regularly. How has she been able to survive this long with a monster constantly trying to...
Betty.
What? What are you trying? Why are you making that face?
Because your voice sounds weird.
Yeah. I make this voice when I get nervous.
You do know there's no monster, right?
Oh. Huh? That's my reaction. The attic, as always, is surprisingly clean, aside from the massive vines creeping around the walls. It could basically be called spotless. Her bed is by the window, as always. Only her head moves to me. Oh. You really suck at following directions, Alex.
Good to see you, too.
I was hoping this time you might not come. I don't really know why I expected today to be any different.
Well, we've got ourselves a nice little pattern going on, don't we?
More like a rut. The same games, the same goofy lines.
Hey, I have been pretty sparse with the goofy lines today.
Good for you. Something about saving a princess, something about you being a brave knight, etc.
What's a nice girl like you doing a place like this?
Nice girl? I don't think I've seen one today.
So, how are you?
Dying.
Right. Let's get to it. So, the bathroom. I thought we were kind of past the fake body in the bathtub thing.
Hey, don't ask me. The monster did that.
Uh-huh.
It seemed nostalgic. Since now you're the real deal and everything. Sort of a, haha, remember this thing? Like and share if you're a 90s kid.
15 magic spells only 90s kids appreciate.
25 roses you pruned if you were a 90s kid.
Only 90s kids remember the sheer terror of seemingly finding their best friend's corpse.
Hey, complain to the monster if you don't like it. Alex, it's a joke. I didn't mean...
I think we both know that's bullcrap, Mari. All day you've been trying to push me away, and now you're gonna act like it was all just some big goof?
Well, obviously you weren't listening to me. If you were just going to pretend that everything was a-okay, I didn't see a point in trying to.
Sorry, you think I'm pretending everything is a-okay?
Well, yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, Alex, but that's kind of your thing.
Fine. Let's talk. Why did you keep telling me to leave? You only ever used to do that while doing the whole monster act. You never used your real voice. Why are you suddenly... Marisol, I'm the last person in the world who'd have to explain your own condition to you. If I didn't come up to do this, you would have died. Is that what you wanted?
I mean, have you been listening to me the past 6 years? Alex, you've been the closest friend I've ever had. You know basically everything about me. You know I'm not getting any better.
You're not getting any worse.
Oh, sorry. I don't read the name. Am I really? Every time I wake up, it feels harder to get out of bed. I feel less and less. I feel like I can't remember what kind of things I used to like. I feel like I can't remember the last time I was happy. But do you know what the worst part is? I don't have a single reason to feel this way. Ah, so this is an allegory for depression. I have a good life and a nice family. Nothing terrible ever happened to me. But out of nowhere... God, I can't even remember when it started. It just feels like one day my heart stopped beating. One day I woke up and I was a corpse. Alex, I'm so tired. And I don't even know why. It all just feels so empty. I'm so empty, except for the vines. and the rose. You know, at night sometimes when it's really, really quiet, I think I can hear it growing. Sometimes they just hear it making noises. And I'm pretty sure it's laughing. Most of the time, I feel like I'm just pretending to be human again. Or human being. But maybe I really am a monster.
A monster, a corpse, and a princess. You're building up quite the resume. Anyways, that takes care of everything. No more vines, no more roses.
Are you sure? I think you missed a pretty big one.
That joke stopped being funny years ago, you know.
Who's joking?
I'm not going to kill you, Marisol.
Then maybe I'll kill you. Okay, 180 there.
Oh?
Yeah. Tell you what. If you didn't pluck the rose out of my eye, I'll take these vines and crush your throat like a soda can.
Come on. Don't make it sound so appealing. What?
Alex, don't talk like that.
What? You were the one talking about strangling me.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Yeah, obviously. I thought we were doing a bit.
No, we're not. I'm not. God. Why do you always just go along with everything? I shouldn't be making jokes like this. You shouldn't be just be okay with me making jokes like this. It's terrible. I'm terrible.
You're not terrible, Mari. You're having a bad day. I've been there. I know what it's like.
You know what it's like? You know what it's like? Ooh. God. Alejandra. What the F do you think you know about having a bad day?
You could have said the word.
I don't want to.
Okay.
You're perfect.
Marisol, come on.
You are so perfect and beautiful and witty and talented and you're a witch. You've barely just become a witch. You're amazing and you have no idea what it's like being this. Being a burden. Being this ugly, horrible thing. I'm barely even human. I'm a crappy little heap of failures in the shape of a person. If I'm not feeling utterly miserable or feeling sorry for myself, I'm this horrible, irrational B word making life a living hell for everyone around me. I know what people say about me. I know what they think when they see me. I know my parents hate having to deal with me. I don't even blame them. I hate living like this. I hate myself. And you just sit there and won't even let me end this. But you think you know what it's like.
Mari.
Oh, uh-oh. It's getting a little kinky.
I don't know if that's what I would call it, but okay.
Yeah. No, shut up. I'm so sick of this. And if you're not going to do it for me, and if you won't do it for me, then at least just look the other way. Ooh.
Marisol, look at me.
Just stop it, okay? Stop acting like you have any idea what I'm going through. Oh. That's... Oh, you're... Ah!
You know, in retrospect, I always found it kind of funny that you never asked why I always covered my other eye.
I thought you were trying to be cool. It's real?
It's real. 100% genuine ocular rosacea.
Christ alive. We've known each other for years and I never even...
Well, I try to keep it under wraps.
But you can't be. You're so... normal.
Am I? Mari, you were probably too busy ragging on yourself to notice, but I'm not exactly Miss Well-Adjusted myself.
But you are. You're normal and happy. You tell jokes.
Yeah, as deflection? You think it's normal to be like, I'm so tired of everything and want to ultra die? Why do you think I always crack jokes when things go south? It's the only way I know how to handle it. I guess when I say it like that, it makes sense you'd think I always pretend everything's okay. Especially when I was too much of a coward to show you my rose. Sorry. Marisol, you're right about one thing. I don't know what it's like to be you. You've got a lot going on. I don't have mood swings like you, and my vines aren't nearly as bad as yours. But everything you were saying right now about feeling like a burden, about feeling like you couldn't remember what it's like being happy, feeling like you woke up dead one day. It's like you looked into my head and pulled it all out.
Ooh. A girl like you shouldn't want to die.
And a girl like you shouldn't feel like you're committing a crime just by existing. But here we are. Here's the thing, Marisol. You can swear up and down that you want to die, that you've been asking for me to kill you since the day we met. But that doesn't change the fact that you've always, always left me a way to find you.
Do you ever feel like me? Like there's no hope? Or you have no reason to look forward to waking up?
Yeah.
Then how do you...
I find reasons. No matter how silly or small. It can be looking forward to mastering a new spell, or drinking horchata, or... Marisol, would you ever consider being a witch?
Ooh. What? But I'm not... The only thing magical about me is...
What? You don't think that counts? Lots of notable witches have had ocular rosacea. Layla told me about them. I think she probably never brought it up with you because it's tough for someone who's not in a family like us to become official. But I mean, your family isn't anything to sneeze at either. What I'm saying is, trying to become a witch isn't exactly a shabby reason to stay alive. In case you haven't noticed, witches are rad.
I could do worse things with my time. Especially if it kept you around this long.
You know, the worst I ever was when I was about 13. OR-wise. That's the first time I remember thinking about a shred of doubt. Without a shred of doubt, I want to die. You know what helped? My grandmother told me she knew about another person with my condition. A pretty girl my age. And she offered to introduce her to me. The day that I knew that I wasn't the only person in the world with OR. I can't even describe it. To feel like you're utterly, completely alone, and then find someone like you. Someone like you who's pretty and smart and has this way of thinking about the things she loves that just makes your blood feel electric. Someone who tells you about something she saw and makes you feel like you were there. Someone who makes you look at the world in a new way. Marisol. Becoming a certified witch was my long-term goal, but it definitely was not the only thing that's kept me around this long. But let's take this one step at a time. I think becoming a witch would be really good for you, and it might even be a good way to direct excess negative energy from your flower. But it wouldn't be an instant solution to everything. I just want you to understand that. You won't be replaced with a perfect magic you. You won't stop having bad days.
Yeah, I figured.
You'll have to fight through them. And of course, I'll be there to help you. So can I ask you to do the same for me? I mean, you've always been that person for me, but it's just always seemed irresponsible to consider you that way without...
Alex.
Words. I'm just trying to say, can you help me through the bad days too, if it's not...
Alex. You honestly thought you'd have to ask. It's the least I could do with all you've done for me. Besides, us lovely corpses have got to stick together, you know?
Yeah. I know.
Oh, so sweet.
So, I really have got to be getting rid of these. And I'll tell my grandma about what we talked about. Maybe she'll even agree to be your sponsor. And, call me, you know, if you ever just want to vent or anything.
Alejandra.
Hmm?
You can't save me, you know? Even if I become a witch, even if things get better, I'm always going to have this rose. I'm always eventually going to have days like today.
And I'm always going to come on days like today.
You're going to get old walking up those stairs, you know?
Yeah. I can't wait. That was very sweet.
That was sweet. It definitely all just an allegory for depression. Oh, but that plot twist!
Mm-hmm.
I didn't throw my voice out doing it this time.
Yeah. Didn't have to ask anybody in the game to take you to a hospital.
Ugh.
All right.
Think about
well.
at the end was that TikTok audio. It was like, damn, these bitches gay. Good for them. Good for them.
Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I think that might be the end of this stream. I don't really have anything else lined up. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everybody who might be watching this later on. If you haven't heard of me, my name is Archangel. I am a podcast host, editor, producer, graphic designer, writer, all this nonsense. You can find me on any of the panels down below. And you can find DC here as a cast member on Use Your Imagination, our D&D actual play podcast. And I guess I will see you guys later.